Now that the first week of the NFL season has ended, I'm going to tell you my biggest takeaways from week 1. Real quick, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the NFL season. Some people are going to call this an overreaction, but I think it's the real deal. And my big first takeaway from week 1 is Aaron Rodgers is back, baby. He played really good. He ran the Steelers offense near perfect. Aaron Rodgers went 22 of 30, 4 touchdowns, and the Steelers won 34-32. A couple other things in this game is DK Metcalf had some big plays, but he also had like 4 drops, or 3 drops as you can see there, which is kind of normal for DK, but I was really hoping he'd cheer up and catch the ball. Calvin Austin looked really good. This Steelers offense looked really good against a strong Jets defense. Where's all the haters on Aaron Rodgers now? Where's all the people telling me he was washed? This Steelers offense is good this year. Now, obviously, a very big worry for the Steelers in this game was their run defense. They gave up 182 rushing yards. Breece Hall, it seemed like, had 10 yards a carry. Now, it says 5.5 yards a carry, but it felt like way more than that. Justin Fields ran all over the Steelers, had 2 rushing touchdowns. Justin Fields really didn't look all that bad. So if the Steelers can shore up their run defense, which is what they tried to do in the draft, drafting Y.A. Black and Derek Harmon, who was injured in this game actually, and didn't play, I think those Steelers run defense can be really good, and their secondary played well this game. I think Jalen Ramsey on this Steelers defense is helping tremendously. So my big takeaway from this game is that the Steelers are back. Their offense looked great, and I'm sure their defense is going to get better. Their defense is not going to give up 32 points a game. But before we get to my next big takeaway, please let me know in the comments which team surprised you the most in week 1, or which players surprised you the most in week 1. The next big takeaway for me from week 1 is the Colts looked really good. Their defense was solid the whole way through against a really solid Dolphins offense. The offense for the Dolphins has never really been the problem. Maybe Mike McDaniels has been figured out with all his trick plays and all his motion bullshit, but the Colts looked really good. As you can see here, Danny Dimes threw for 272 yards on 75%, 1 touchdown, and ran 2 in. And Tua did not look good. He threw 2 interceptions. This Colts defense was flying around. Even their defensive lineman dropped in coverage and got a pick. So look out for the Colts. And this kind of brings me into my next big takeaway. If you guys remember, the Colts hired defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo from the Bengals last year. This proves what I was saying in my opinion. The defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, was not the problem with the Bengals, as we can see in this next game. Right here, my third big takeaway was the Bengals offense had 7 total yards in the second half. That is crazy. I thought this offense was supposed to be the best in the league. 141 total yards. This is crazy. The Browns should have won this game, no doubt in my mind. Their kicker missed an extra point, missed a go-ahead game-winning field goal with like a minute and a half left from 30 yards or something like that. They let the Browns, Joe Flacco and the Browns, go for 327 yards. They would have lost. I thought Al Golden was the Bengals' savior. Turns out they need a new offensive coordinator or new play caller, not a new defensive coordinator. This is crazy to look at. Joe Burrow, 113 yards. This is nuts. The Bengals did not look good. Their slow starts continue, and the Browns continue to choke away games. And another takeaway here, this is just a quick one. Cam Ward is a dog. Cam Ward is the guy. The Titans had like 8 drops, and they were all great throws. I know his stats right here are not looking good, but go watch the film, watch the game back. Cam Ward looked real good, and the Titans got their guy, especially against a good Broncos defense. Here's a game that really annoyed me. The Seahawks should have won this game. Their defense was flying around. Their defense was playing good. They just couldn't figure out how to move the ball on offense. Especially in the second half, they couldn't figure out how to move the ball on offense. That offensive line held up pretty good for Seattle, which was a little bit shocking. But Sam Darnold just couldn't get the ball down the field. I'd like to see more out of Kenny Walker. Christian McCaffrey had like 140 yards of all-purpose yards. Christian McCaffrey looks good and healthy. Ricky Pearsall looked good. This Seattle defense is going to be good all season. They forced Purdy to throw 2 interceptions, and they were flying around. This is just really disappointing for the Seahawks because I picked the Seahawks to win. Their offense really couldn't do anything. Sadly, I thought they'd do more, especially with how good their defense was playing. Another big takeaway I had was the Packers absolutely demolished the Lions. Now, typically, maybe not in the new age of NFL football, but when a team wins the time of possession, they really dictate the game. That was not the case. The Packers really controlled this entire game. Obviously, it was their big addition in Micah Parsons, and it's not really what he did. He had 1 sack and maybe one other tackle for loss, but he allowed Lucas Van Ness here to get a half a sack, Rashawn Gary to get a sack and a half. And in Jared Goff's interception here, he pressured Jared Goff into throwing a bad interception. Micah Parsons really took this Packers team, as most of us thought, to the next level. And the final big takeaway I have is JJ McCarthy played terrible for 3 quarters and kind of kicked it into gear in the 4th quarter against the Bears last night. Obviously throwing for 2 and running for another touchdown. JJ McCarthy could be good, but remember, he was playing against basically all backups in the Bears secondary, and the Bears defense held him down, but Caleb Williams missed a lot of throws. There's still a lot left on the bone for Caleb Williams. He didn't play terrible by any means, but he needs to continue to develop, especially under this Ben Johnson offense, and he needs to be more accurate. Simple as that.